Across the South Coast, live from Solent University, you're listening to Solent Sports News.
Welcome to Solent Sports News. It's 3 o'clock and I am Samuel Barnett with your Solent Sports News headlines. Right. Sorry about the technical difficulties here. Right at the start. Everton have received the biggest points deduction in Premier League history. They have been docked 10 points for breaching profit and sustainability rules. The Toffees have tumbled down the table and found themselves in 19th place. In a video posted on social media, the club's interim chief executive officer, Colin Chong, says they'll be appealing this sanction.
Myself and everybody at the club are shocked and disappointed by the ruling of the Premier League Commission. The club's view is that the harshness and severity of this punishment are neither a fair nor a reasonable reflection of the evidence that was submitted to the Commission.
Right, well, we are now joined by journalist Rhys Barrett, who has more on the developing situation. Rhys.
Thank you, Sam. Honestly, I think this is just a statement from the Premier League. I don't see this being anything other than a statement. It's the most points that any team has ever been deducted. Portsmouth were only deducted 9, Everton deducted 10, and Portsmouth went into administration that time. So this isn't just a points deduction and a slap on the wrist. This is the Premier League making an example out of Everton. They are showing teams that you can't mess around with this anymore. And you can say all you like about the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City breaking UEFA's protocols, but the Premier League is showing that no matter who you are, you're going to get punished if you do these things. And only 2 other clubs have ever been deducted points in the history of the competition, and both were relegated. So is it the writing on the wall for Everton? Maybe not. They're only 19th. They've got 4 points still, and they've had a really good start to the season. Sean Dyche has managed to whip these guys into shape. Considering they barely stayed up last season as well, maybe it is the writing on the wall, like you say. But it's a political statement from the Premier League. This is them saying in no uncertain terms, if you mess around with the rules, we are going to punish you.
Thank you, Rhys. Right, well, Solent Live reporter Liam Harding went out onto the streets to get the public's reaction about the deduction. The people of Southampton seem pretty unified in their opinion.
Postponing practice, I think, was the right decision to
Everton
make,
have fallen into the relegation zone
is,
now.
Of course, the most important
They were
thing.
doing quite decent. They sat at 14th, but now they sit with the likes of Luton and Sheffield. It's quite sad to see, especially for the fans.
I don't think it's that fair considering Chelsea's and Man City's sort of history of breaching financial fair play regulations as well. So I think Everton have been targeted.
Oh, I think they're most likely going to be relegated. I think most likely because they weren't that good to begin with, especially last season they struggled.
Charles Leclerc topped the one and only practice session at the inaugural F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix earlier today. The initial first session was delayed due to Carlos Sainz driving over a drain cover, causing a red flag. The 90-minute long session then resumed at 2:30 a.m. local time. I'm joined by WTF1's Hannah Atkinson, who sympathised with fans who had to miss out on the practice.
Postponing practice, I think, was the right decision to make just because safety is, of course, the most important thing for the drivers. But on the other hand, I do feel and completely sympathise with people's frustration about the fans who have paid money for tickets being forced to leave the track due to concerns over staffing and security and things like that. So I really hope they get some sort of compensation, as this wouldn't have happened if the second practice wasn't delayed.
Mercedes boss Toto Wolff snapped a journalist earlier on who said that the postponement was an embarrassment. Hannah said she was taken aback by the reaction.
I don't think I've ever seen Toto this riled up before during a press conference or any kind of media, really. I think that it's difficult to completely agree or completely disagree with what he's saying because there's definitely some truth to it. I think a lot of F1 fans have had harsh words to say about Vegas ever since the race was announced.
England took on Brazil in the Under-17s World Cup in Indonesia today. The Young Lions were defeated 2-1, but despite this, they have qualified for the knockout stages of the competition. England still top of their group, joint on 6 points with Brazil and Iran. The Three Lions are back tonight as Malta comes to Wembley in a Euro 2024 qualifier. England have already made it to the tournament, giving Gareth Southgate a chance to hand out some first caps to late call-ups Cole Palmer and Rico Lewis. Trent Alexander-Arnold will also start in centre midfield, and he says he's excited for the challenge.
It's exciting. I enjoy learning. I enjoy having that understanding of the game, trying to understand different roles and positions, and admire what people are doing out there. And I would say I get that from playing in the middle of the pitch.
Ahead of EC's second round FA Cup tie against Reading, the Spitfires have been allowed to source a temporary stand. Following a high demand, the new seats will be located in the West Stand to provide an additional 350 tickets, as they are selling out extremely fast. Classic Tyson Fury chaos unfolded last night as he had to be held back by security at a press conference. It was announced that he would be facing Alexander Usyk with a clash on the 17th of February in Saudi Arabia. The two almost came to blow as it was revealed that the Undisputed Heavyweight Championship would be on the line.
Run, rabbit, run, run, run. You know what's coming. You're getting smashed to pieces, sausage. You're fighting the best British heavyweight there's ever been. You beat all the rest of them, but you ain't beat Tyson Fury yet, sausage.
Darts fever continues tonight as the quarterfinals of the Grand Slam of Darts gets underway. 22-year-old prodigy Josh Rock takes on 40-year-old James Wade in Game 1, and Gary Anderson headlines the night with a clash against world number 4 Luca Humphreys. Carlos Alcaraz will switch up his tactics before trying to avenge his US Open semi-final loss. World number 2 faces Daniel Medvedev at the ATP World Tour Finals in Turin, and if the Spaniard wins, he is through to the semi-finals. This is Alcaraz's first appearance in the season finale competition. And finally, Leicester Tigers head coach Dan McKellar knows the importance of the East Midlands derby against Northampton Saints. The two clubs face each other this weekend in the 252nd meeting in a blockbuster match day in the Rugby Premiership, with rivalries being renewed. The Australian has just won one of his 5 games since taking over in the summer. That's all from us now. I'll be back in an hour. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website, solentsportsnews.com.